This Jayco Greyhawk Class C motorhome has a rear wall slide out on it for the bedroom space that I think if I ever get a Class C motorhome, I definitely want to have, because it really opens up that space in the bedroom and gives a much preferred layout to a lot of other Class C motorhomes. So let's go take a look, come on. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Myles with Firmly Unbound, and we are here taking a look at this 2026 Jayco Greyhawk Class C motorhome. Now, this here is going to be the 30Z floor plan. You'll be able to see the floor plan layout and specs on the screen, but also want to mention, first of all, this is what is considered the top of the line gas Class C motorhome from Jayco. So we're looking at a higher end gas Class C motorhome here. And then if you are looking for your next RV, there is a link down below in the pinned comment of this video and in the description of this video, where you can find a Blue Compass RV dealership across the country, where you can find your next RV, including Jayco's like this one here, as Blue Compass has over 100 different dealerships across the United States, across 33 different states. So we are all over the map to help you out with finding your next RV. So this one that we're looking at here, you have a couple different full body paint options. We have two of these Greyhawks here next to each other, so you can see some of these options right here. This is a different model and floor plan there. They also have some different interior color options. So we can just peek inside this one real quick that we won't be taking a look at and see that they're white cabinets, and then this one will be a little bit different. So just know you do have different color options there. But a couple things to rattle off real quick. I am gonna read some of this here just so I make sure I get all this information correct and accurate for you guys in terms of what we got going on this motorhome. So first of all, it is on the E450 chassis from Ford, but the big thing is it has the J-Ride Plus handling package. So this is going to have a computer balanced drive shaft, some Koni FSD shocks on here, a heavy duty rear stabilizer bar and a front stabilizer bar, and Hellwig helper springs as well with rubber isolation mounts. So we should be able to get under here and see some of this from what we got going on underneath here. Kind of see some of that there, especially those Koni shocks, and then your springs there. We also are on a Dynapro HT Hankook tire. Really nice full body paint scheme on this motorhome, so no sticker decals. And then they have a one-piece front cap here. It's going to give you this windshield in the front cap. Not a whole lot of Class C motorhomes that offer this windshield style setup here on the front cap, and that is a automotive grade windshield there with an automotive style bonding on that windshield. Or I'm saying windshield, it's not really your windshield, but you know what I mean. So nice just window there for whoever is either hanging out in that area or just for letting natural light coming in to the motorhome. Also really nice black finishes here on the front of this motorhome. Now I wanna just real quick show you before we hop inside how we have this slide out off the back wall. There are also a couple slide outs on the non-camp side, but you can see we have this small slide out, not anything crazy, but it definitely makes a big difference on the inside. So just want to show you that. Another thing to certainly point out is you have a full fiberglass roof. So another very nice aspect to this motorhome. Full fiberglass roof on that, no like rubber or TPO style roof. See some storage space that passes through underneath here. That is also pretty cool and worth mentioning, especially the fact that it's a little bit taller back through this area. Now, as we head inside, another thing worth mentioning right when we walk in is with Jayco, you get a 2-year base warranty and then a 3-year structural warranty. Pretty much any other RV brand is going to just come with a 1-year base warranty. They may have that 3-year structural warranty, but it's pretty standard to have a 1-year base warranty. Jayco is one of the few brands to have a 2-year base warranty. Yeah, the privacy shades on the window right there, that is a nice big window as well, and it does come with that privacy shade already installed. So we step inside here. Right away, we have our main power switch, so a battery disconnect switch here. This is your power for your step that we just stepped up onto coming in and out of here. And we have some storage space that's pretty quick and easy to access. You have auto leveling on this motorhome. Now it looks like, oh, ignition is required for that. That's why it's not coming on. So we do have auto leveling on it though. And as we look around, really nice layout in here. I really like how we have that TV in a real true designated across from the seating space arrangement. A lot of other Class C motorhomes, they'll have one TV in this area, and it's usually up here where this bed is at, and you have to swivel it out to use it in the living space, but this is one of the few Class C motorhomes giving you an actual designated spot for the TV across from your recliners. So really enjoy that. Here in your kitchen space, we do have a wrapped countertop material. So this is going to be, you can see there's a wrap material there, LED light strips underneath here. And then for your cabinets, open these up. They are plywood drawer construction, or sorry, on your drawers. You have a plywood drawer construction there with staples holding that in place. They are soft close drawers. And then 4 drawers right here, you can see about how deep those are. Got your oven right there. So pretty standard RV size oven. It's not really anything bigger than what you would normally expect from an RV in terms of, you know, kind of being one of those smaller options. And then up here you have a residential size microwave. Get your stainless steel single basin sink. You have a pop-up outlet tower right here. It has USB Type-C ports and USB Type-A, and it does drop down and turn into a wireless charging pad right there. So pretty nice with that. And then on this faucet, it does not have like a retractable faucet or anything like that. Open this up, you got your storage there, magnet latches to hold these in place, soft close cabinet doors. These are all solid wood cabinet doors, so they're solid stained wood, and a little bit of storage up here over the microwave. Going to your refrigerator and freezer, it is a 12-volt Furrion refrigerator. It does have solar up on the roof that is helping maintain keeping the batteries charged if you're at your campsite and just not running the motorhome. Most times you'll be plugged into a power source typically as well though. Then we have, again, our 50-inch screen TV here directly across from the recliners. Now, obviously the person in this chair is getting that most straight-on direct viewing angle, but I will say, like, with my head facing perfectly straight, I do have to, I guess actually I don't have to lean over at all to see the entire TV. I do see the whole thing just sitting right here, but I do kind of feel this tendency to want to lean to the right a little bit just to see it, but it should be on a mount back behind there to kind of swivel it out too if you want to. Let's see. Yep, there we go. Detach that, yeah, you can swivel that around. So you definitely can get a nice viewing angle from these recliners here of that TV. Got the fireplace, that's an electric heat source for you. In addition to that, you'll also have a heat pump in the air conditioner, so that's another electric heat source for you, and that will be a 15,000 BTU AC. It is ducted through this camper, and you do have, or through this motorhome, and you have the ability to close these vents as well, which not all RVs have. Some don't have the ability for you to close those, so that is nice. Around the TV, you have a little bit of storage here. This is like a tinted plexiglass style cabinet door. Nice, pretty deep storage there. It looks like it wouldn't be quite as deep as it actually is. Speakers up in the ceiling here and right here, and they are JBL speakers. As we turn back around this way, we have our theater seating, nice big kind of oversized recliner seats. And it looks like these are going to be powered seats, although we're not plugged into 30 amp power, so I can't get them to recline out, but they are big, comfortable recliners. Then we have some storage space right here, cup holders, pull down blackout shades on the windows with a wood frame around the windows as well. Plus, you have these little felt pads on here as you drive up and down the road. If a motorhome doesn't have these, it's certainly one of the first sounds you're gonna hear is things, you know, kind of shake while you're driving. Those blinds hitting on the side of the wall all the time. Definitely want that to be a little bit condensed, which is why they put those felt pads there. Got your storage space up through here, soft close on those. And then your dining table, there's a little bit of a lip to get up into this space, but it is a legless dining table, so nothing getting in the way of your legs getting in and out of here, and you are able to drop this table down. It's basically just on a bracket there that you can lift it up and pull it out and it'll swivel down, allowing you to take these backrests here, put it on top of the table and turn this into a sleeping surface. Now, I don't think most people will find themselves in a circumstance where they would feel the need to do that because, and actually no, you don't use the backrest there, I lied. You have this cushion here, so didn't mean to do that intentionally, but forgot that they have the cushion up here on this model. This here is going to be a bed big enough for 2 grown adults for sure. This is well over 6 feet long, so you could definitely lay out in this space very comfortably, and it's a little bit of kind of, you know, what would be more of a firm style mattress. You could also do a foam topper on top of here if it was a little bit too firm for you, or if you wanted even more support than what this offers. But I think most people will find it plenty adequate, especially for just like, you know, if you're doing like a weekend trip or a week-long trip or something that's not, you know, extended periods of time or long, like full time type of travel. Lift this up. You got your storage or your space down here to go into the driver's cab. Now you can just leave this here if you want, but they give you the ability to remove that so you can just get in and out of that driver's cab more simply. You also get the windshield here like we talked about outside, so you get that view out into your camping environment. One thing I always thought about as a kid is just how fun it would be to be driving, going down the road and have something like this where you could look out the window. Definitely not technically supposed to do that, as you technically are supposed to be in seatbelts, but technically you can do whatever you want to do, and it's up to you what level of risk you want to take with your life. I'm certainly not going to tell you what level of risk is appropriate for you. I know for me, that sounds like a heck of a lot of fun. But you do have a bunch of seat belts in here, so you'll have seat belts in the dining chairs and you'll have seat belts in the recliner chairs as well. Down underneath here, you do have a matching set of seats to the rest of the camper, so same leather material here on the seats. Definitely gives it a little bit more of a polished, finished off look versus motorhomes that will come with like a cloth standard, you know, Ford cab kind of seat. But other than that, the rest of the driver's cab does look pretty just standard and basic for the most part. It's nothing too crazy out of the ordinary. Does have cruise control, does have this swiveling Sony panel here that's going to control things like your cameras and your audio and like your Apple CarPlay, all that stuff. And then it has a standard backup mirror that's basically just going to be to see the back of your motorhome or see what's going on through the motorhome. Have USB Type C and Type A ports there, and you have 110 volt plugs right here. Oh, those are actually, looks like just USB ports there again. So USB Type C plugs on that. Do have powered mirrors, like to see that, and my assumption would be without a shadow of a doubt that that is heat for the mirrors. Now, if I'm incorrect about that, someone correct me, but I would be very surprised if that was anything other than heat for the mirrors to defrost them. So that's what we're looking at in this area. Another thing to keep in mind, this console part does come out if for some reason you did want to move this just to get more leg space in here. You do have the option to do that. Not that I think most people would, but you can. We also have a light right here too. We're not hooked up into the power portion, or maybe I don't know if the truck would need to be on to get these on. I haven't spent as much time with these motorhomes here, and it's a little different at an event like this because we're inside a building and we're not gonna, you know, turn these things on with the engine on without any ventilation in here. So that's something I unfortunately don't get the opportunity to do at an event like this. Right when we walked in, we also have the touchscreen control panel. This is going to be a really nice system where it will, one, connect to your phone, so everything this does, your phone can do, and you just get really good access to see everything going on with your RV. For instance, like your tank levels, you can actually see them in terms of more of like a percentage style meter versus like a lot of other RVs will just have like empty, 1/3 full, 2/3 full, or full. This gives you a lot closer look into that. You also have individual controls of your lights. Looks like lights can be dimmed on this panel. Very nice there. Ability to start and stop your generator on here, vent fans, ACs, all that stuff. So that's everything there. Let's go ahead and go back to the bathroom and bedroom, because this is really what like my favorite part of this motorhome is. So we get the TV out of the way. We do have two different privacy doors. So first door going to the bathroom. As I take a step back, you can see how it does offer really good privacy for that space. We have great storage in this area, and the shower and toilet are behind this door here, so they are in their own little area. But we have your medicine cabinet right here. This is a big medicine cabinet, and you do have two lights right over that space, plus another light that would be overhead. We have a small stainless steel sink and stainless steel faucet. Got your storage space down underneath here. And as we keep moving along, we got really big storage all through this area. So lots of storage there. You can see some of it has shelving, some of it is open. So this spot down here, more shelving down in that space. Tankless on-demand water heater. Have our door here to the bathroom. Open this up, and we're going to have our toilet and shower. It is a plastic foot flush toilet in this space. I actually have the same toilet in my travel trailer RV, and it has actually been just fine for me, even though like porcelain would be the preferred in like, you know, better quality toilet. This plastic foot flush toilet I have not had any issues with. Really nice kind of shower tower setup and arrangement. Plus they give you the clothing rod option in here, so you can hang stuff in this space You could use it as a closet even if you want to. Have a vent fan in there. It is one of the smaller vent fans. And then as I step up into the shower, couple things to talk about. First of all, you have this water recirculation system. So this here will change color as the water gets warmer. Basically, you have a knob right here to choose to recirculate the water as it's heating up, or you can have it come out of the shower head. But the idea here is that you're conserving and saving as much water as possible, allowing you to actually step into the shower, know that your water is warm, and then send the water to the shower head after it's already heated up so you don't waste a single drop of water. Pretty dang neat with that. Got your skylight in here, and ceiling height. As I step in here, you can see I'm standing at about 6'2". My head does not quite go into the skylight, so it's not really needed for me at my height. But if you're over 6'2", you kind of go up into the skylight, which means you have height for about 6'6" in this shower. Now, I definitely stand well below this shower head, so I'd have to duck to get underneath there or use the wand right here. And then the clothing rod for me would have to go because it's definitely kind of in the way. At least when I'm taking a shower. So come back out this way to the bedroom. This is my favorite part. We do have another door right here before we walk in, so you get another degree of privacy to the bedroom. Keep both of these doors closed and you definitely could have a good private space. Or if somebody like wants to take a shower and wants to close both these doors, they have this kind of little hallway here with some storage here to get ready for their day. Both of these doors will lock as well, so they do have a locking mechanism on them. And then we get a true north to south facing bed. The dimensions on this bed, it is 60 by 74. So I just wanted to go double check and make sure, but it is 60 by 74. So that's basically a shorter queen size bed than a residential bed, but still seems perfectly adequate to me. You have the individual reading lights for both people up there in the corners. You have outlets on the side of the bed here. Plenty of room to walk around this space. Now there is a lip up into this area because of the storage underneath here. Got a TV installed in the bedroom already. You have these panels here to control different lights in this motorhome. And I would assume, yep, you can hold down the buttons to dim the lights as well. So they do also act as a dimmer switch, not just an on and off switch. So let's go ahead and get those brightened back up. There we go. Got some storage in this corner right here, just a little shallow drawer there, soft close on those, outlet in the corner. Big window on this wall. You also have a little wireless charging pad with some USB ports on the side. It has USB Type A and Type C on the back. Got 3 shelves in this storage space. You got your AC ducted right over your head, and you have your second AC unit here in the bedroom, so no problem staying cool. You have a straight up and down headboard, so you can actually sit up flat against that wall, which is really nice. And then we have some wardrobe storage here. Has a ladder to get up onto the bunk. Also has your privacy curtain for up in that space. And then we have a clothing rod here. Now, it does come out. I don't know, for whatever reason. I don't know if I need to do something or if I'm doing something wrong, but it does slide out. So you can't slide that out there, but that's where you will hang your clothes. Then we have 3 drawers underneath this area that are not too deep, but they're 3 drawers there nonetheless. Outlet here on this side of the bed, and 3 more shelves in that storage space. Plus a window on this side of the bedroom also. So 2 windows in this bedroom. Let me see if there's storage under this bed. There is. Just kidding, it's just a base, no storage. In terms of the mattress, not terrible, not too bad. I think a good number of people will be happy with that, but if not, you can put a foam topper on top of that, or you can also replace the mattress if you would like. Turn back around this way as we're coming out. We have liquefied here. Forgot to talk about this almost. This is a black tank treatment for your RV that you can find at Blue Compass RV dealerships across the country. This is going to be something that makes sure that everything that goes into your toilet turns to liquid and drains out properly, keeps your black tank healthy, and keeps your RV smelling fresh. Now you can find this at Blue Compass stores across the United States, as well as Walmart and Amazon. As we go outside, rattle off a couple different specs here for you as well. 43-gallon freshwater tank, 41-gallon gray water tank, and 31-gallon black water tank. You have a 55-gallon fuel capacity also, and then the let's see if there's anything else on here that's really important. There are a bunch of different full body paint options. There's 5 different color options. So I just have my phone up, but you can see them here. Starts with your standard decal package there. And then these are all the different full body paint options. We're looking at the spring option. And I guess they name them after the different seasons. So kind of fun. The different seasons and then midnight. So go along the outside, we have outdoor speakers. They sit at ear level when you're sitting in a camp chair. Got your awning up over the space with LED light strips here. Got your storage bays here. They are kind of like a composite material here in those storage spaces. Spot for your propane bottle. Again, storage space there. And these are all slam latch storage doors. So they just slam close nice and easy. And another storage space back here. Again, we kind of looked at that storage back through this area. You can also use that rear bumper to store something like a sewer hose if you would like. Slide toppers on top of the slide outs. We have a Schwintek slide mechanism for this back wall slide. And then it does have a hitch along the back that is rated for 7,500 pounds. So what a lot of people do is they either tow something like a vehicle behind their motorhome so that they have a car to use when they get to their campsite so they don't have to haul their motorhome everywhere. Or they might even tow something like a trailer with motorcycles in it or something like that so that they have motorcycles to ride around. So a few different options you can use that for. Have your gray and black tank dump valves right here. So everything will come to this spot here for your dump valves. And your tanks are exposed down underneath here, so not really something that has these tanks that are, well, they do have a 12-volt heat pad on the water tank, so I do see that. But they are exposed underneath there, so if it's like super, super frigid, you know, you might catch yourself in a, you know, predicament potentially, but with the 12-volt heat pads, that should help those keep from freezing in, you know, pretty modest cold temperatures that might be below freezing. Have your slide out topper on top of this big slide out there, and then a little bit more storage in these spaces. Plus we have our generator here that runs the entire motorhome if you want to use that as your power source. It's a 4,000 watt gas generator that we can use to power the motorhome. Open your door here and see what your inside of the door looks like. Pretty simple. You have a big step there though, getting up into the motorhome, nice with a slip, like non-slip pad on that. And then we have side cameras here incorporated into the side mirror. So giving you a little bit of an additional view there with that. Really nice looking black rims. And then that is pretty much everything. So I'm gonna see, I believe we already have some of these in stock with Blue Compass RV. I'm gonna see if I can find a price for y'all real quick and then we'll get you on your way. And I'm kind of seeing a wide range of pricing. It looks like it's gonna be without the full body paint somewhere around the like 100 and oh my gosh, I already blanked on what I just saw, y'all. Should be somewhere right around the $130,000 price range without the full body paint. Now with the full body paint, that's gonna put you more in that like $130,000 to $150,000 price range, somewhere in that ballpark. I'm just kind of estimating because the one thing that's tough too is when I just go look at like a wide range of pricing, I don't know if there's like different options that are on certain models versus others and things like that, but seeing kind of a different spread of numbers there. So that's kind of what we're looking at. But everything that I saw listed was under 150. So it's kind of in that, you know, $140,000 range as a kind of center point to spot on. But that's all I got for y'all. Appreciate you watching. And if you're interested in your next RV, there's a link down below in the pinned comment and description to find a Blue Compass RV dealership close to you. So that's all I got for y'all. Until next time, live firmly unbound.